everyone. So today topic is loops. So the question is, what is loop? We will learn about what and why and how we can use loop. So first of all, I will explain what is loop. So a loop is a programming construct that allows to repeat a block of code multiple times based on a condition. Instead of writing the same code again and again, loops make code shorter, cleaner, and more efficient. So we can write like loops is a programming construct, like programming construct that allows to a to repeat a block of code, block of code in multiple times, in multiple times. So next I will explain why we use loop. Why? So we use loops, avoid code repetition. Avoid code repetition. Avoid code repetition. And then we can say make code scalable and readable. Make code scalable and readable. So that's why we use loop. And now I will explain how we can use for real life example. For real life example. So suppose in that class, uh, teacher has five students. Let's say the teacher has five students and will ask each student to say present one by one. Okay. So in that, it's like a scenario. Like imagine a teacher in classroom with five students. The teacher wants to take attendance by calling each student and name one by one from a list and marking whether they are present or absent. Like that, we will create like a scenario. Okay, and in that scenario, we will create a program. So I'm using online compiler. Yes, online compiler. Okay. So here I create program for the syntax of loop for let I equal to 0, like 1. Will start from 1 and I less than or equal to 5. As I said, 5 students, so I will take 5 plus plus and then console dot log, and suppose we will print 1 of 1 I, and then we can say is a student, and then I attach I here and present. Then now I will run this program, so it will generate the count of the student, like 1 to 5. Okay, it is giving error because is not in string now. Yeah. So is student 1 present? Is student 2 present? And is student 3 present? This is a simple program of loop which I explain in real life example. So next we will learn types of loops. Types of loops. So the first type of loop, for loop, and the second is while loop, and the third is do while loop, the fourth is for, of loop, for of loop we will see later. First I will explain only three loop. Okay, for loop, while loop, do while loop. So in that I already explained, like for loop, like this is the syntax of for loop, like for let I equal to 1, I less than equal to 5. Whenever we want to like run our code, like if n, so we will take, write in n, if number of count, so we can write number, and then I plus plus for increment, and then console.log, so it will print I for, like here is I'm assigning I less than or equal to 5, so it will print 5 times. If I will remove equal to, so it will print 4 times. So like that, like is 4 times, like only 4 student is present. Like that, it is a for loop. It is only used when you know how many times to run the loop. And the second is, yeah, the second is while loop. So while loop basically we used when the condition is checked before every iteration. So this is the example of for loop. I will comment this code and then write. Next one is a while loop. While loop. So while loop, let I equal to 0, and then syntax of while I less than 5, and then print console dot log I, and then increment of I plus plus, and then I run our program. So it will print 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 because I started 0, that's why it's print 0 also. If I will start from 1 and then equal to less than and equal to 5, so it will print 1 to 5, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the difference between for loop and while loop, for loop it's using for basically um, for how many times to run the loop, and the while loop it's basically used for checked before every iteration condition is checked. And the main difference is related to, like I when we increment our I, so in that it iteration before and in that iteration after, like after printing the console, like that. So after the printing it will we will increment our I. And the third one is a do while loop. Do while loop. So the do while loop that runs the code at least once before checking the condition. It's before checking the condition, let I equal to 0, and the syntax is do, and then console dot log I, now increment, and after the increment then write syntax of while and then check our condition I less than 5. So like that we will write, and the same difference is between like that it is the code at least once before checking the condition. Okay, it's not a before checking the condition, condition checking at last, but let I equal to 0 when we will come in do then console.log I, it means what is the I value, it is 0, so it will print 0 and then increment of I like I plus plus, so now I value is 1. So when I check condition 1 less than 5, so yeah it is correct, so again it will iterate our loop and then print 0 1 2 3 4 5. That's all about loops. Thank you.